Hello, sports investors. This is Professor MJ, and I would like to share 5 MLB picks for today, Tuesday, June 10th. Let's start by recapping yesterday's action. So I suggested 4 free plays to you, and they posted a 3-1 record. And we came close from posting a perfect 4-0 record. We took a shot at Yuri Perez over 5.5 strikeouts at nice juicy odds, and he finished with 5 punch-outs, so he only needed 1 more. Unfortunately, he only lasted 3 innings on the mound, but I'm sure that if you had given him 1 more inning, he would have recorded his 6th strikeout. So a person risking $100 per play ended up with a profit of $164 yesterday with the free plays. And in case you are wondering, the famous lobster bet, my best daily wager across all sports, was a winner yesterday as I took the Atlanta Braves first half money line in Milwaukee. Thank God they scored 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning, and so after 5 frames they led 3-1, so this was a winning bet again. So overall, since I started the famous lobster bets, we have obtained 37 wins versus just 11 losses. Alright, so let's talk about today's free picks. I'm going to get started with a play that is rated 5 stars out of 5. So that means it is viewed as a premium pick that I have shared at mjpicks.com earlier this morning. In the Cincinnati-Cleveland game, can you guess which team I am backing? I am taking the Reds to pull off the mild upset on the road at Cleveland. The best current odds are plus 102. You can see a screenshot from Bally. We also got those same odds with Leo Vegas and Bet Rivers and Pinnacle, by the way. Now, of course, the line might have changed in the last 30 to 60 minutes. So let me mention some arguments supporting this play that I love so much. So the team's respective records indicate that Cleveland is a slightly better club, but the run differential are telling a whole different story. In fact, so far this year, Cincinnati is plus 41 versus minus 22 for the Guardians. That's a huge difference. Now, on top of that, we have a huge pitching edge favoring our bet. Andrew Abbott finished both of his first 2 seasons in MLB with an ERA below 4. And now this year he's been stellar, with a solid 2.18 ERA along with a 1.06 whip statistic in 2025. Granted, he is coming off his worst outing of the year as he squandered 5 runs in 6 innings against Milwaukee, but most of the damage was done due to 2 long balls. Sorry. He was still sharp because he racked up 36 called or swinging strikes in that outing. Now, meanwhile, can we really trust Slade Cecconi? He posted an awful 6.66 ERA last year, and so far in the 2025 campaign, his ERA is close to 5. He has faced the Reds on 4 occasions in his career, and in those games, he has presented an 0-2 record along with a bad 4.57 ERA, so he does not seem to appear to like facing Cincinnati. Also, the Reds are riding a 4-game winning streak, whereas the Guardians have dropped 9 of their last 14 contests overall. So please tell me, why are the Reds underdogs in this contest? I don't have the answer to this question, but one thing is for sure, I am betting Cincinnati in this match. So that's my first pick of the day for June 10th. Up next, I would like to formulate a pick on the Miami versus Pittsburgh game. And in this match, I am taking the Pirates money line. The current odds are around minus 135 in American format, which equates to 1.74 in decimal. And as you can see on your screen, this pick is rated 2 stars out of 5. Again, remember that all picks shared on YouTube are picks that I believe are worth betting. So even if it receives a 1-star pick, It means I believe it has small positive expected value. So in this case, maybe we have like a 2% expected ROI on this play, in my opinion. Now, I agree that it is hard to grab the Pirates as favorites, but I've got to do it here. Well, first, they are riding a 4-game winning streak, including a sweep of the Philadelphia Phillies, which is impressive. Secondly, the Pirates have been tough to beat at PNC Park this year, as they hold an 18-18 record, while Miami has posted a 10-20 record away from home, which is abysmal. Then you have what may be the worst starting pitcher in MLB going on the mound for Miami, Sandy Alcantara. He had a run of 6 straight starts where he gave up at least 4 earned runs, and that got halted in his last appearance, but that was against the lowly Rockies, so that's not super impressive. I'm not ready to argue that Alcantara is back into form. And meanwhile, despite his 1-8 record, Mitch Keller has not been that bad for the Pirates this year. Now, his last start was delayed by more than 3 hours, and that affected his play and his preparation. Now, in his prior 5 outings, he had given up a total of 10 earned runs in 31 innings of work. Now, if you do the calculations, that amounts to an ERA of 2.90, which is very good. So I feel like he could dominate the Marlins. So even though Pittsburgh doesn't have a very good offense, I expect them to find a way to extend their winning streak to 5. Alright, so we have 2 picks in the bank. The Reds and the Pirates to win straight up.
Sometimes I see some Blue Jays.
Up next, I have a pick on the Toronto versus St. Louis game, and in this match, I'm going to go with the Toronto Blue Jays to win in St. Louis today. Alright, so I get the case to be made that St. Louis could win this game because they have been quite good at Busch Stadium. But the Jays seem to be in a groove and they keep finding ways to win. So that's why my third pick is... Oh, sorry. I'm talking about the fourth pick. So let's move ahead to my fourth pick and I'll go back to the third one. So I'm taking the Jays at minus 110 odds, as you can see on your screen at the bottom. And it receives a 3-star grade. So let me continue talking about this match. So since May 28, the Jays have posted a 10-2 record, which is very impressive. Their offense has been much improved after a very slow start to the 2025 campaign. If you focus on Toronto's last 11 games, they have averaged 6.5 runs scored per match, which is very good. Also, I find it hard to trust a 36-year-old hurler who has accumulated just 36 strikeouts in 61 innings of work. I'm talking about St. Louis starter today, Miles Mikolas, by the way. After 2 more difficult starts, Chris Bassitt bounced back with a solid performance against Philadelphia. He allowed just 1 earned run to the Phillies, along with 5 hits in 7 innings on the mound. So I feel like he's going to ride the momentum and carry his team to yet another victory today in St. Louis. Now let's go back to what was supposed to be my third pick, but that I unveiled to you too early. I am taking no run to be scored in the first inning of the Yankees-Royals game at odds that are between minus 130 and minus 110 right now. As you can see, Bally has a line of minus 110, which is the best that I could find, but maybe your bookie has weaker odds like minus 120, minus 130. This pick receives a 2-star grade. I'm not overly confident about it. So here are some arguments supporting this play. Well, first of all, I am not too worried about Kansas City scoring a run in the first inning. because, well, their offense is not so good. In fact, they have scored the fourth fewest number of runs in the big leagues this season, and they are squaring off against Max Fried, who has been dominant all season long, except for one poor outing at the LA Dodgers, which was a difficult task, obviously. And now we're talking about a completely different kind of offense. The Royals' offense is a lot weaker than the Dodgers one. So in this case, the big question is, can Noah Cameron prevent the Yankees' top of the lineup to score in the initial frame? Now I'm going to answer yes, but I'm not super confident, as you can tell by my 2-star grade here. Well, Cameron has given up a grand total of 3 earned runs in around 31 innings so far this season, which is fantastic. But I'm still worried. You know how the Yankees offense is very good. And one thing is worrisome, Cameron, again, remember that he has pitched around 31 innings and he has accumulated just 19 strikeouts versus 10 walks. So that's a source of concern to me. But still, I feel like there won't be any runs scored in the first inning, and that's my 3rd pick. Now we have just one more play left, because I already told you about pick number 4, the Blue Jays money line. And the last one concerns the White Sox versus Astros game. And in this match, I am betting an underdog at positive odds. I'm taking the Astros run line at plus 130 odds. So in other words, we are going to win this bet only if Houston wins by a margin of 2 runs or more. And this play receives a 4-star pick. It was fairly close to being viewed as a premium pick, but I decided to be a bit more conservative and grade it 4 stars. Now, in this case, rookie Shane Smith has been a clear bright spot for the White Sox this season. He has not given up more than 3 earned runs in any of his 12 starts in 2025, which is fantastic, especially for a rookie hurler. Now, outside of that, I love this bet for various reasons. So let me list them one by one. First, Houston remembers vividly losing a 3-game series at the Chicago White Sox in early May, so we have the revenge factor taking full effect here. Next, Lance Mikolas. His season numbers don't appear that good. In fact, he owns a 4.44 ERA, but that is very misleading due to one awful outing. If you focus on his other 5 starts, he has allowed 5 earned runs in 24 innings of work, and if you do the math, you get an ERA of 1.88 in those other 5 starts. Now, you can also take a look at his number of strikeouts in his last 3 appearances. 7, 12, and 8 punch-outs, which is impressive again. Also, Mikolas has faced the White Sox on 7 occasions in his career, and in those games, he has obtained a 4-1 record, coupled with a superb 1.98 ERA. Next, I know that the White Sox won 3 games in a row before losing 7-5 on Sunday against KC, and to me, they probably have a shaky confidence. Of course, they won 3 straight games, but now that they've lost 1, they might be thinking to themselves, here we go again, we're going to start losing many matches in a row. And meanwhile, Houston has progressed as the season went along, and now they are atop the AL West Division by 3 games over the Seattle Mariners. Houston has been great at home, as shown by their 22-12 record, whereas the White Sox have been one of the weakest road club in the entire majors, as evidenced by their 6-26 record away from home, which is dreadful. So for all of these reasons, I feel like we have some value at plus 130 odds, taking Houston to win by at least 2 runs over the White Sox, even though they are facing rookie Shane Smith, who has been spectacular. So there you go. Those are my 5 free picks for today. I want to show you something interesting quickly. So let's take a look at the performance of my premium picks across the past 7 weeks. So again, we're talking here about all picks that are rated 5 stars. And I have combined all sports here. So we have some NBA picks, NHL picks, and MLB picks. Now you can see that we have accumulated a lot of profit. If you add the numbers of the last column, the weekly profit, so we are always pretending as if we are risking 1 unit per play. So in this case, over those 7 weeks, we have accumulated 43.26 units of profit. So that means that if you tend to bet $100 per play, then by following my betting tips, you would have obtained a profit of $4,326. In case you are wondering, in these 7 weeks, we have accumulated 158 wins versus 94 losses and 3 ties. So if you're interested to receive those premium picks, those high confidence plays directly in your mailbox, just go to mjpicks.com to sign up. And let me show you my screen. So this is the home page. You can see today's free play, which is the Reds that I already told you about. And you can click on it to see my write-up. And then if you scroll down, you can click Join Now here. And you have 3 subscription plans offered to you. You have a free plan where you get 5 premium picks each week. In fact, you get 1 per day from Monday to Friday. Or you can go for a weekly plan or a monthly plan, and in each case you can decide whether you want 1 sport, 2 sports, or all sports. Now with the NHL and NBA almost finished, you obviously get much more MLB picks these days. So I invite you to sign up at mjpicks.com to receive those very high confidence plays. We have been accumulating a ton of profit since mid-December. I don't have the exact numbers, but it is around between 60 and 70 units of profit since mid-December. So I want to help you to grow your bankroll, so come and join us. Join our group of elite bookie crushers. Alright, so I'll see you tomorrow with more baseball picks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers, guys!